Today we are having this webinar uh, in association with the IQAC of our college and the Department of Microbiology, which was planned earlier in the month of June, but due to some issues it has been postponed. So we thought we will conduct now. And this IQAC, which is very important matter in this patent issues, copyright and designs are coming up. So for this program, we have all the participants here. We have Principal Madam also here. I would like to request Dr. Suresh to do the welcome address.
The source of inspiration is our principal who guided us in organizing this seminar. On behalf of all those here, I welcome Dr. Anuswaya Rai, Principal, University College, Mangalore, to this webinar. Welcome you, ma'am. Then our resource person, Mr. Pankaj Kumar, is a well-known intellectual property right activist. He is very active in Ministry of Human Resource Development. He is an innovation ambassador for Ministry of Human Resource and Development and IPR facilitator, IIS, deemed to be University Jaipur. On behalf of University College and all those who are present here, I extend you a warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you.
I welcome Dr. Bharati Prakash, HOD, Microbiology Department, University College, Mangalore, and she is also the program coordinator of today's webinar. She has taken keen interest in contacting the resource person and organizing this seminar. On behalf of our college and everyone present here, I welcome you too, ma'am.
Thank you.
I also welcome all the faculty members who are present in this webinar, those who are yet to join this webinar, and all the invitees to this webinar. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Dr. Suresh. Without much delay, we'll right now go to the program. And I would like to introduce our resource person and for this program. Actually, Dr. Pankaj Kumar is not new to us because in 2019 Inspire Science Camp at Pellicula, we had invited him to give a lecture about the innovation for our students. But today for the staff, sir has been requested that all the, from the point of NAC point of view also, all the information which is needed to be shared with us. So I would like to give a brief introduction. It is a very long CV, too many pages. I may not be able to complete in this short period. Now, Dr. Pankaj is actually a master's in biotechnology from Sri Chaudhary Charan Singh University, Uttar Pradesh. And his PhD research work is also in the biotechnology, but he has also done the masters in LLM, masters in law from Kurukshetra University. He also has a bachelor degree in law from Delhi University, where he has been specialized on the patent information system. And he has his PhD qualification in 3 different domains like IPR, law, information science, and biotechnology. Since he has been actively involved in all these IPR related issues from 2006. So initially he was working at Institute of Cellular Therapies at Noida. Then he was associated with the NIS CAIR, then the Intellectual Property Unit of the CSIR New Delhi, then Iginova at New Delhi, and Federation of Indian Micro and Small and Medium Enterprises at New Delhi. Then at present he is associated in the IIS deemed to be University at Jaipur. It is nothing but a group of institutions of innovations, inspiration, synergy. And he is involved in the activities of networking, human resources including online social networking and information, and filing applications under the Right to Information Act, RTI Act at 2005 and follow-up. Participating in IPR events including awareness and professional programs, submission of comment on issues and public interest, and Dr. Pankaj is also expert in IPR issues because he has processed himself as a patent attorney, patent agent of the Government of India, more than 100 patent applications in all the field, not only in India but from the other countries also have been processed. So his more expertise, the skills I can say, is evaluating the invention of patentability prior to art report, then relevant publications, both patent and non-patent literature, evaluating signs, marks, logos, and to get it registered as trademark under the law, conducting online search for available trademarks. Now, drafting the application, filing the patent, and prosecuting the applications for patent, design, trademarks, and copyrights are his skills. Since he is into the process of patenting, Dr. Pankaj can be a very good resource person to tell us what are the difficulties faced by the candidate when they apply for patent, and even at the staff in a college, what way we can generate the patent and the innovation, and how can it reach to the getting the IPR rights. So this is one of the big asset. People having the patent, or if they have processed, it is also equally recognized by the NAC. So this talk of today's by Mr. Pankaj will be very useful to us. So with all this expertise from you, we would like to hear from you all the details of IPR. Once again, I welcome you, Dr. Pankaj, to on behalf of our college for this program, and over to you for this talk, sir. Should I present the slide?
Yeah, you may.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for the opportunity. Thank you, the Registrar of University of Mangalore, University College Mangalore. And without wasting much time, I wish to connect with Bharti ma'am points regarding my qualification and skills. Any person in the any background from either science, commerce, or arts may enter into the field of IPR, and they need certain skills. And particularly if we talk about patent drafting, generally science graduates preferred because they only can understand the scientific inventions. But if we talk about designs, trademark, copyright, a person from any field, either from science, commerce, or arts, may enter into this field. So these are their certain skills required. We know science knows no country because knowledge belongs to humanity and is the torch which illustrates the world, as well Louis Pasteur. Earlier, what we see is in open access, free education to all. There is ashram system. We do publish our value which may help the society, but what now? It's restricted. It's a business, it's a paid, and rather than publication, patents are preferred nowadays, and we are preferring commercialization by means of either technology transfer or by means of startups. So there is a lot of gaps earlier and now we see regarding academia. So some of you people must thinking that why we bother intellectual property. You may have a good idea. So you have every rights to market it, but it's very difficult if someone else may copy it. So we need protection over our expression of ideas. So we can regulate the market, and it's the way to get monetization. We may get it commercialized, and that's why we talk about technology transfer, royalties, licensing, etc. IPR data sought for Atal ranking of institution on innovation achievements. So innovation includes our work based on our ideas, which may be an invention, which may be a design, which may be a logo. So we may file applications to protect such expressions, such innovations, and these are the IPR data which needs in various reports. Further recognition, ranking, accreditations, etc. by the authorities like UGC, NAC, Ministry of Education, earlier named Ministry of Human Resource Development. Further, during this pandemic, we recognize, many of we people might recognize that IPR having a wonderful career opportunities because this time there is various new openings everywhere. There are a lot of filings during this pandemic. There are courses like career-oriented skill development and choice-based credit system. These are capability enhancement program and considered for employability and entrepreneurship. UGC have already recommended IPR as a COSD, that is career-oriented skill development and CBCS program. We have some policy and schemes like National IP Policy, National Innovation and IP Policy, SIPP schemes, etc., which need to be implemented as soon. And university having cells like incubation, tech transfer cell, IPR cell, startup cells, which working with interface with IPR cell, and so university may also have some internal IPR policy. And see, this is a barometer. What it do? This is like thermometer which measures the temperature. Similarly, IPR is a barometer of any R&D organization which measure the potential or creativity of any organization. Total licensing revenue, you see, it's in million to billion dollar. So all these are universities which developed some drug or chemicals or chip which has been licensed to a commercial entities. So this university never manufactured or market such kind of things. They just focus over their research, and whatever the research output, they license such research output to companies, commercial entities, and based on their transaction, their commercial gain, they get revenue. And see the revenue. This is in million to billion US dollar. So this is the potential of university. Unfortunately, there is none of the example from India or from other developing countries. So we are following such developed countries. Hopefully slides change. So these are some terms of licensing, essential clause. We may share the rights like patent rights. There are some confidential information, trade secrets, know-how. We can license that. We can license either by exclusive or non-exclusive manner. The purpose of use we may restrict. Territory we may restrict. Terms of licensing we may restrict. So these are certain clause in any licensing documents. And further, there is some consideration clause, and this may be a upfront fixed fee, one time lump sum amount, and further running royalties like in percentage of sale. This percentage of sales may be in gross sales or in net sales. Further, we may try to consider unit based, how many units sold, or in combination of both units sold and sales. So you see, A hereby grants to B an exclusive revocable license to make, use, sell, offer for sale and import the licensed product and licensed patent for a period of 3 years from the effective date within the territories of some of the countries for a consideration as provided in this agreement. So this is the agreement, licensing agreements, and the terms and condition of any agreement depends on the parties. Here parties is two parties, A and B. A is the patentee, B is a licensee. So A giving patent rights to B, and it's not sell, it's just license, just like rent out. So B may be authorized to use such patent rights with prior permission of A in lieu of such consideration, and the term for such license may is decided mutually. In this present case 3 years, and the territory is also decided mutually. So it restricts to only 3 countries here: China, Japan and Australia. So these are the clause of any licensing agreements. It helps us once we have some innovations, good innovations, protected innovations, and there is a demand in the market. then we need such technology transfer, and during such technology transfer, we may do either assignment or licensing. Assignment is just like sell, and licensing is just like rent out. So, in view of such importance of IPR, in year 2016, UGC wrote a letter to all vice chancellor of all universities in India, and under this notice, you may find here, see, creation of mind such as inventions, design, literary, artistic work, symbols, name, image are protected by IPR. There are different IPRs, like we may protect inventions by means of patent, we may protect design by industrial design, we may protect literary artistic work by means of copyright, we may protect symbol, name, image, etc. by means of trademark. So for various kinds of IP, there are various kinds of IPR. Further, under this notice, you see, it indicates IPR is normally of two types. One is industrial property right and other is copyright. So other than copyright, rest all IPR covered under industrial property. Further, the importance of IPR was first recognized in Paris Convention for the protection of industrial property in 1883, and in 1886 there is a Berne Convention for copyright, particularly for literary and artistic work. So IPR should be protected to encourage the creator and also striking a balance between innovator and public interest by creating an awareness where creativity can flourish. You see, the notice is so lovely. In this notice, it indicates whole IPR, type of IPR, kind of IPR, importance of IPR, history of IPR. Wonderful, wonderful notice. I'm very happy to read this notice because everything is included in this notice. Wonderful. So see, nowadays university is having IPR cell or some sort of IPR cell, and where there is no any IPR cell, IQAC on behalf of a university work for such IPR related issues. And see, these are essential complement to institutional innovation council, incubation cell, a startup cell, etc. If university having any of such cell, and they need some IPR issues, and if they have IPR cell, then okay, otherwise such cells take care about IPR. IPR cell of the academic may arrange consultancy to the researchers, and other may get some share in the profit like 1 to 2% to make financial independent and maybe a profit making entity. Once the cell being in the position to get file or commercialize such IP, only in that situation they may so 1 to 2% of share in the profit, so that such IPR cell may be financially independent and it will not be a burden to the university, and it may be self-sustained. So it may have IP policy. If the IPR cell having some objectives, they provide some services, they regularly organize some events and activities, and if they're hiring, they create some portfolio which includes all kinds of IPR, particularly in academic situations, patent, copyright, designs, mostly these three IPR. And they may also help in course designing. At least whatever the course running by any institution, they may suggest a unit on IPR which may be clubbed with a research methodology paper, so that at least all the students of the university may aware about IPR. Further, you see, during the NEC, you might notice that some of data regarding IPR they saw, like copyright, file and publish. So they give importance to both. File, how many applications filed and how many applications are published. So design, file and published. Patent filed by HEI, higher education institution, number of patents. So you may say it's some sort of number game also, because filing as such is not so important. What's important? Important is commercialization and technology transfer. And there is very few data about commercialization and technology transfer by Indian institution, Indian academicians. So NEC also give some weightage to filing. Many institutions filing applications without bothering whether they granted or not later. So patent published and granted to higher education institution. So patent held by innovations, a startup incubated at incubation unit of HEI, IP commercialized and transfer. So nowadays few applications filed, and the number of publications depends on the whether application have requested for early publication or not. Otherwise we need to wait for 18 months for default publication. So there is a time gap of 18 months, and again before granting there is an examination report. We need to follow up that examination report in order to get it grant. And commercialization only after the grant of patent. We talk about technology transfer or commercialization. So we have very few cases for such. So if we talk about IP generation, we need to first identify our ideas, and we need some support like financial, technical, strategic, managerial, and we develop such things by means of IPR so that it may not be misused, may not be misappropriated, may not be copied, and we may regulate our intellectual property. And after that we develop some prototype of product. So it up to we people whether we license or assign our IPR to someone else, or we ourselves starts the things. And in such case we call it a startup, government promoting a startup scheme. So nowadays even academicians, our teaching staff and scholars may start a company, register it as a startup, get the benefit of a startup. So see, national IPR policy having some objectives. These are 7 objectives. First one is IPR awareness, outreach and promotion. There is a lot of IP webinars during this pandemic, and the generation of IPR. First we need to aware about IPR, then only we can motivate to generate it and how to protect it. And it's a legal framework. We may understand the legal framework of IPR in India. So there is a one Controller General, IAS person in Mumbai, headquarters of IPO, Intellectual Property Office in India, and it's having some branch office like patent, trademark, copyright. Everyone, for every IPR there is a different act, and as per the act there is a different office, and every office having some branch office. Like for patent there is a headquarter in Delhi, and there is a 3 other branch office. One is in Mumbai and Calcutta, so Calcutta is a headquarter, Chennai, Delhi. So these 4 patent office we have. Similarly in trademark, these 4 offices having a trademark office, and one more office in Ahmedabad. So there are 5 trademark office. For design there is only one office in Calcutta. So IPR administration and management and commercialization of IPR, enforcement and adjudication. Without enforcement there is no any motivation to file IPR. It's the enforcement and commercialization which matters a lot. And lastly, human capital development, so that we can develop resource person and experts to file IPR and successfully prosecute the application till the grant. So if we see the innovation and the startup policy, there are some important points. You see incubation cum technology commercialization unit. Maybe in future you may be a witness to see many universities, both government or private, they may have such kind of things, incubation cum technology commercialization unit, or TT, or technology transfer unit. And in order to self-sustain and without having a burden over the university, they may register themselves as a company or a society, so that they may be independent from the university and may not depend for every issue over the university. They may decide the matter their own. Such cells, IPR cell or a startup cell, may take 2 to 9.5% share. Institution may take such share, so that they may have some funds to run such cell. Further, staff and faculty institute can take no more than 20% of the share, the staff faculty take while drawing full salary from the institution. However, this share will be within the 9.5% of the cap of the company share listed above. So, whatever the benefits university earn from such commercial units, they may share up to 20% out of their gain to the staffs or faculty who have active role in such applications, IP applications. So there is no any conflict other than salary. Staffs and students may earn by this, that means, and you see no restriction on share that faculty staff can take as long as they don't spend more than 20% of office time. So there is a restriction of 20% of office time. They may involve in a startup activities. There is no restrictions from the universities, and more than 3 months in a startup. So there is further restriction as an executive position like director or CEO. They may not give more than 3 months to such a startup, and such leave is considered leave without pay or earned leave. In some institution, in order to motivate the staffs or students, they club their name also as an applicant, so it's a joint application. So there is no any hard and fast rule. It's up to the institution what they decide, whether they wish to motivate this way or not. Otherwise, they may file application in their own name. Royalties would be no more than 4% of sale price. So generally, this is the standard. Further, if there is a dispute, so minimum 5-member committee. This is as per the startup policy 2009. If any university or academic institution wish to launch such a startup cell and promote their students and faculty as a startup, so these terms and conditions as suggested by policy may be implemented by such universities. So obviously institution IPR cell or incubation cell will have a coordinator or facilitator. So such facilitator, IPR facilitator may be hired for internal purposes or maybe such work outsourced. So in order to outsource, they need a coordinator. And where there is a facilitator in-house, the same person may work in the capacity of coordinator and facilitator. So interdisciplinary research and publication on a startup and entrepreneurship should be promoted. This is a very important policy. I think you people may refer this National Innovation and Startup Policy in 2019. It's easily accessible over Google. So there are some norms for faculty startup. Those faculty who wish to run as a startup also without conflict of interest and getting the salary and wish to earn by means of such a startup. See, the role of faculty may vary from being an owner, direct, promoter, mentor, consultant, or as an on-board member of the startup. Faculty startup may consist of faculty member alone or with a student or with faculty of other institutions or with alumni. Faculty must clearly separate and distinguish ongoing research at the institution from the work. So they need to separate their works, whether it's the institutional work or whether it's their own personal work. So these are the some common objective of IPR cell of any academic institution. Like they need to popularize IPR as a subject among the stakeholder of the academia, to integrate IPR with the education process, enhance the quality of thinking, propagate a culture of regard and respect for IPR, to ensure speedy and accurate identification and protection of innovation, to facilitate transfer of knowledge and technology. Earlier we transfer this knowledge by means of publication. Nowadays we transfer this knowledge by means of licensing. So other than IPR events like conducting IP outreach activities, celebrating World Intellectual Property Day on 26th April, they may facilitate such kind of services. IPR cell of any institution may facilitate such kind of services with the help of expert. And further R&D, it may help in R&D also, not only for IPR. It may help your scientific R&D, like it may provide you assistance by means of arranging you a latest publication and patents in the subject. so that a person involving in the scientific research may get idea, better idea, what is already developed, what is already invented. So see, the creativity. Someone donate in Sri Ram Janmabhoomi 2,14,214 and written here the amount in such a way it seems Ram Ram. So this is a creativity, but it's not protectable and unprotectable. So we need to identify which kind of ideas may be a commercial, which kind of ideas may not be a commercial. So everyone heard this word jugaad. So how can we convert our jugaad to patentable inventions? So it's also important. It's things of utility, but it's not fulfill the criteria of patent. That's why we say this jugaad. Like see the jugaad, it's a wonderful. It impressed the Mahindra person, Anand Mahindra. See, these are obvious kind of things. We can't patent or protect such kind of ideas. So this is a jugaad. New application of existing things. Now CD is hardly used. So see the new application. We can't protect it. It's very obvious. It's you may say jugaad. So let's come to the point, intellectual property. Intellectual property is the expression of idea. Only those ideas which are expressed by us. And such expression must be a commercial utility, having some commercial utility like inventions, maybe a software. It may be a look of any product, that is a aesthetic look, aesthetic design. It may be a literary item like publications, book, article. Maybe a business method, work of art, fine art, performing art, a mark which helps to differentiate a goods or service from different origin. So these are the various expression of idea which are working in the market. So see, from art to artificial intelligence, fashion to farming, renewable energy to retail, television to tourism, virtual reality to videogram. So see, there are various kinds of creative work. And as per the kind of work, we say the person like for architectural design, the person is architect. Artist, what do they have? Artistic work, handicrafts, etc. Artisans, designers do artistic work like industrial design, and inventions. Scientists do inventions, commercial application of ideas, entrepreneurs. So as per the ideas, we recognize the person. So whoever we are, whatever our circumstance, we all have the capacity to create. And it is this human creativity and inventiveness that is responsible for improving our quality of life in every aspect. Our medical care, transport, communication, entertainment. So aim of intellectual property is to promote conditions that help this creativity and innovative capacity flourish across the world. These are the words of Francis Guri, ex-Director General of World Intellectual Property Organization, one of the United Nations organization. So everyone knows necessity is the mother of invention, and such inventions need efforts, fund, time, resources. So in order to promote the progress of science and useful art, some sort of motivation need to be arranged to such person. Without such motivation, it's very difficult to involve such efforts, fund, time. So see, in this pandemic, we notice such inventions, see the aesthetic look of such goods. Such looks may be protected under industrial design, and the functional aspects of all such things are protected under patent. So everyone has right to protect their moral and material interest, and it's the IPR which protect their interest in their intellectual property. So see, under Article 27(2) on authorship, it's declared under Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Similarly, under US Constitution, the words you see, the promote the progress of science and useful art by securing for limited time. So there is a condition, limitation of time. So you may enjoy such IPR, such legal monopoly for a certain period of time. After expiring of such limitation, such term of protection, Such IPR comes in free public domain so that any person interested may use such IPR without the prior consent of the right holder. So right exhaust after expiry of such limited period of time. And such secured by authors and inventor the exclusive right to their respective writings and discovery. So it's exclusive rights, legal monopoly. They may restrict others not to commercial, not to use, not to sell their patented inventions without their permission, and there is a penalty. So what's the invention? A scope of invention. It may be a destructive, it may be a constructive. So patent office decide whether it's a patentable invention or not based on destructiveness, like atomic energy or bio weapons. Such kind of inventions as being destructive in nature may not be a patentable in India. Although it fulfills all the criteria of patent like novelty, inventiveness and utility, but there is some policy guideline in public welfare. These are not patented. So see, remdesivir, I think everyone is well aware about this name, remdesivir. So this is a patented vaccine, patented by Gilead, one of the US pharma, and the key inventor is Ramesh E.M. Desigan, which is from Rasipuram in Salem, from Tamil Nadu. So the company motivate this inventor by making the brand name of this invention are here is for Ramesh E.M. surname, Desigan, Desi from the surname, and we are for virus. So remdesivir. So these are some policy issues. I may escape such things. So it is recognized that firms that own intellectual property right have an average 20% higher revenue per employee than firms that don't. So see the importance of IPR. 20% higher revenue than those which don't have such IPR. And see, like other properties, we may also sell our IPR, we may license our IPR, we may use our IPR as a collateral, like what Kingfisher case happens. They took a great loan from SBI by giving collateral of brand Kingfisher. So it's an option to you people, if you have some IPR, whether you wish to commercialize it or not, or whether you are interested to start a startup, or in case you wish to transfer and prefer the royalties. These are the options, and we may get both one-time lump sum amount along with the percentage of sale. So see the chronologically, the trend of innovatives and R&D organizations like Apple, Google, Microsoft, around 99% value of their assets lies in intellectual property rights, and hardly they have 1% physical properties. So trend is now increasing towards IPR, particularly if we talk about the R&D organizations. So see, better IPR portfolio gives you a competitive edge. It increases the valuation of a person, whether it's an individual person or a company or a university. So IPR being intangible assets form substantial part of assets of a person and thus increase the valuation. So you may gain from commercialization, you may negotiate and in better bargaining positions if you have some IPR portfolio, you may do a joint venture. So these are some of the main types of IPR like patent, industrial design, trademark, geographical indication, copyright, layout, design of integrated circuits, new plant variety, utility model, biodiversity and associated traditional knowledge like traditional medicinal knowledge, etc. So see the person confused. I have an innovation. How do I protect it in the market? So can we guide that person? So first we have to ask that person what kind of innovation you have. What's the intellectual property you have? only after auditing that intellectual property we may be in position to suggest which IPR may suits him. So see, in the this column we see the design, aesthetic look of the goods, and here you see the literary items like magazine or CD players. And this Darjeeling tea, Mysore sandal, this indicates a geographical indication for such particular goods. These are some marks which helps to differentiate a product or service from different origin. Integrated circuits, chips, and new plant varieties. So these are different kind of intellectual property which we may protect by means of different kind of intellectual property rights. So we may protect innovative product and process by means of patents. We may protect cultural, artistic, and literary work by means of copyright. We may protect our creative design by means of industrial design. We may protect our distinctive sign or mark under trademark. We may protect our microchip under layout design of integrated circuits. We may protect goods which attributable to a particular geographical origin under geographical indication. We may protect confidential business information under trade secrets. We may protect plant variety under Protection of Plant Variety and Farmers' Right Act. So many times we may notice that a good may be protected under 3-4 IPR. Like for functional aspects, we may protect it under patent. For the aesthetic look, we may protect its aesthetic look like shape or configuration by industrial design. We may protect the mark so that public may differentiate the origin of a goods under trademark. We may protect its instruction manual, booklets, etc. under copyright. The advertisement, what we may see over the television or newspaper, is the subject matter of copyright. So there are different kinds of IPR may be applicable for the same goods. So we have such a government legislative act in India. We have Patent Act 1970. Society is so dynamic that we need sometimes repeal of the act and new act, or sometimes we do amendments. So see, in Patent Act 1970, long back, it's thrice amended in order to comply with international norms. Tips under WTO, we comply 100% by amending its thrice. Last amendment is in 2005. So 1999, 2002 and 2005, we have amended it thrice. Now it's 100% perfect as per international norms. Trademark Act 1999, Copyright Act 1957, Design Act, Biodiversity Act, GI Act, Semiconductor Act, Plant Variety Act. And this is the table. I will share this table to ma'am so that she may arrange you people. I cover all the IPR in this table with IP description, example, the concerned IPR, the innovator, creator, what we may say them, registration, whether advantageous or not, or monopoly, whether it is complete monopoly or incomplete, international arrangements on that particular IPR, laws in India and authority in India, headquarters and branches for that office, criteria to get it registered, term of protection for which period of time we may enjoy the monopoly, and renewal, whether it's renewable or not, or if renewal, for which period of time it may be renewable. So these slides cover every IPR with maximum details. So unfortunately, we are not much aware about IPR system. So many times we use synonyms, IPR terms like a synonyms. Like for patent, we use the word design. For design, we use the word copyright. For copyright, we use the term trademark. So see, Garba Singer gets his name patented. So this is a wrong news, how, what you say, wrongly used, because invention only may be patented. Name is maybe a subject matter of trademark, but not patented. So many times we encounter news like this. So we know SME account for 90% of all companies worldwide and 70% of global employment. Government is very keen to promote SMEs, and that's why in order to promote SMEs, they club the academicians also because many SMEs comes from academic institutions, universities, many faculties and many scholars working over some ideas. Either they have to license it or they may start their own startup. So the government scheme like MSME scheme, SIPP scheme, they extend such a scheme to universities also. So see, SMEs are the engine, the unsung hero of our economy, and yet for many of them there is still lack of knowledge about how IP can help them translate their idea into product, and how IP can be a powerful tool for them to not just survive but to also compete and grow. And during this pandemic, there are many ideas to creative person, and they applied such ideas by filing the IP applications. So options, what options you have? What do you think? Suppose you develop some invention. I think the possible options with new people is either you put such inventions in open access, or you may publish it, or you may use it as a confidential, secret, trade secret, don't disclose, and lastly, you may get it patented. So I think you have these four options. So it's long back, ex-director CSIR, Dr. R.A. Maselkar, slogan, publish and perish, patent and prosper. Because once we publish, things comes in free public domain, anyone can use it. It's very difficult to restrict others, and we can't get monetization benefit. But if we patent, after patent, it also publish, but now no one can use it without our prior permission. And in order to give such permission, we ask some royalties, and by means of such commercialization, technology transfer, royalties, we get prosperity. So by means of patent, you may permit others, you are the owner, you may give someone else rights because you are the exclusive right holder. You may sell it to someone else so that the person may be an exclusive right holder. This is just like property. So if we define a patent, we can define in such a way a statutory rights, legal rights for an invention. The subject of patent is invention. It's granted for a limited period of time. Generally, it's 20 years, and this 20 year count from the date of filing or the priority, whichever is the earlier, to the patentee. The applicant is called patentee once the patent grant. It's granted by the government. So patent office is a central government body. This is an exchange of full disclosure of his invention. So you have to disclose your invention completely, and for excluding others from making, using, selling, importing the patented product or process for producing that product for that purpose. So you may exclude others for using, making, selling, importing, etc. without the right holder consent. So if one is interested to make or use or sell or import, that person need a prior consent, and for that we talk about technology transfer, licensing or assignment. So patent enable you to prevent other from such a kind of act. C. B. Walmart developed this artificial bee which helps to pollinate our crop. See the banana. Sony developed application by means of such fruits. Banana can be used as a controller for a game, PlayStation controller. So you need to register your ideas. So if we talk about patent, there's field of inventions. These are some 20 fields of invention. You see, agrochemical, biotech, chemical, civil, communication, electrical, electronics, food, general engineering, mechanical engineering, pharmaceutical, textile, computer science, physics, biochemistry, polymer technology, microbiology, metallurgy, biomedical engineering, agricultural engineering, traditional knowledge biotechnology, traditional knowledge chemical, traditional knowledge physics. So what we need disclosure, invention disclosure. So IDF is invention disclosure form. Please don't share invention disclosure to any person without having NDA, non-disclosure agreements. Theoretically, we taught such points to everyone, but practically sometimes it's not feasible, or in good faith in India, we generally works in good faith. So without doing NDA, because it needs to be a stamp or 500 rupees, a stamp paper. So many times without NDA, we do IDF in share with the experts our invention. And what we need to disclose, first title of invention, and although it's not important because experts suggest you the title based on your invention, field of invention, prior art, how does your invention differ from the closest prior art. This is the most important point of any invention disclosure form. A sketch or illustration of your invention, written description of your invention, examples, a scope of the invention, advantage and abstract. This is the complete information regarding any inventions which need to be informed to the expert for drafting purposes. And this is the certificate of patent. So it indicates a patent number. So application number and patent number, these are different. So please don't confuse about application number and patent number. Many times people getting advantage of application number showing treat is like a patent number. So patent number is different and application number is different. Earlier application number is in such a way like a serial number, like 3563 Dell. Dell indicates Delhi, and where application file in Mumbai, there is 3-letter word used, MUM for Mumbai, and in case of Calcutta there is KOL, and in case of Chennai CHE, and this last 4 digit is the year 2011. So it indicates year of filing. So this is the significance of application number. But now since last 2 years, application number is a numerical number totally. So first 4 digit indicates the year of filing now, and later types of applications. So there are various kinds of application, and your application number indicates what kind of applications it is, and rest letter is a serial number. So in patentee is the right holder. So it depends whether the inventors is also clubbed with the institution or not.
Yes, sir, we can come to conclusion.
So see, this patent is this having a functional aspects, and for this functional aspects we may file a patent, although it attracts some obviousness. So it's very some difficult to get a patent, but we may protect it under industrial design for this aesthetic look of such patent. This, so it's already applied and under process. Hopefully very soon it may get registered under industrial design. And see, these are the parts of patent specification. What we need under invention disclosure form, all such informations need to be used under patent specification. And if the application is relates to some biodiversity related inventions, we need approval from NBA, National Biodiversity Authority. So these are some common mistakes. They either publish their inventions earlier to filing the application for patent. So it creates a problem of novelty. If patent office detect this earlier publication, they never grant the application because it's not novel. And these are the rights. There are some policy issues. It needs a further 1 hour to explain all such compulsory license issues. It's very interesting, very important. And lastly, you have trade secrets. There is no such act. We may protect trade secrets by making it confidential. Under Contact Act, we make contact with the person to whom we share our these trade secrets. And these are the options. So it's a life cycle. There is a career opportunity, internship in this field. Yes, please.
Uh, yes, sir. Yeah, it was very much in detail and a very informative talk. Now, as you have been processed already more than 100 applications throughout, um, so you are into it to know that what are the difficulties faced. Now, any student from the college or academic background or from university, if they want to file an application, so first they have to contact the patent attorney who can guide them to process.
Yes.
It is like that. And I also heard about the patent exam to be a
Yes.
patent agent. So can you please tell about that?
In the last slides, I have shown just is it slides visible? No.
No, sir, you can tell, no problem.
Every year, patent agent exam conducted. I think slides is visible.
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Okay. So every year, this is not compulsory. Every year they notice. Sometimes twice in a year, and sometimes once in 2 years. So it's conducted by Patent Office. Office of CGPDTM, Controller General of Patent Design and Trademark, is likely to conduct patent agent examination in the month of as per the notice every year. Sometimes they conduct it in April, sometime in May, sometime in June, and sometimes not. In 2020, it's not conducted, and this is year 2021, and I don't think this year is conducted this patent agent examination. Detailed
So
information.
students of graduate students from
Only
arts,
science
commerce, and
graduate.
science.
Only
Can
science.
they-
Only science graduates may apply for patent agent examination, because the main work of patent agent is to draft the patent application, and patent is for the scientific invention. So only a scientific graduate can understand the inventions, scientific inventions, and it's very difficult for commerce or arts student to understand or draft or interpret the scientific inventions. So there is a restriction only for science graduates, and although any a student from any stream, from commerce or arts, may enter into the patent field, they may guide for patent commercialization, technology transfer, even for search reports, prior art reportings, so audit purpose. So there are various aspects of patenting. So particularly
sir.
if we talk about drafting, so drafting is not feasible by non-science graduates.
Okay, sir. Maybe on this we can have a separate session from you. I would like to request any of the participants, if you have any queries from the staff or the students who are attending this program. If you have any queries, can you please proceed?
What is the cost for patenting and its annual or term maintenance?
Good questions. This is a FAQ, frequently asked question in any webinar, the cost part. So it depends. It depends on something like who is filing the application, whether it's an individual or it's a company, or whether it's a startup or a small institutions. So it depends. For individual, again, there is a certain stage like filing application, and further request for publication stage, examination stage. So first stage, the government fee for individual is only 1600 rupees, and
Okay.
if we do early filing, the government fee is 2500, and if we request early request is not compulsory, otherwise we need to wait for at least 18 months delay. You may save 2500 by delaying it 18 months, and there is a 400 rupees for examination request. So this is total government fee. This is around 1000 rupees total, including publication, early publication. And if we talk about academic institution, university or company, it's 5 times. So 1800 becomes around 8000 rupees. 2500 becomes 10,000 rupees, and 4000 becomes 20,000 rupees. This is for universities. Patent office is in discussion with the stakeholder and public institutions, and they may it cut down it just like individual, maybe in this year. Hopefully in this year, they may consider institutions, academic institutions like individuals. So they may cut down the 5 times fee to regular fee, just like individuals. And for startups, earlier they considered as a legal entity, there is a 5 times fee. They discounted it already as a treat it like individual. So they need to pay only the fee which applicable to individual person, not 30,000. It's in 8,000 rupees total government fee, all 3 stages including. This is regarding a patent. And if we talk about design, individual fee is 1,000 rupees, and for institutional it's a 4,000 rupees. And for copyrights there is a 500 fee. It doesn't matter whether application filed by individual or legal entities. And for trademark it's a 4,500 rupees. And for big companies it's 9,000 rupees. So this is all about the government fee for these 4 kinds of IPR.
Okay, so from the
If you
art,
already have patent, so I think it will be for 20 years. So till that, how to maintain it? We have to pay annually or
Yes. We need
like
to
once
pay,
in 2 years.
no, we need to pay it annually, annuity. So until it renewed, it's enforced. And if we miss it, we may have a chance to pay some penalty to revive it. And if we fail to revive it, it will abandon premature.
yeah, sir, I would like to inform you that Dr. Siddharaju, who asked you this question, he already has a US patent on his research. So he is already into that. So maybe he can, he's also the in charge of innovation club of our college. So he is into, guiding the students or inspiring to get the innovations done. So since you have been here as a resource person, I would like to have you to guide us to get some of the innovations patented or any intellectual property rights which can be protected. And we are looking forward to have innovations. Like there are many ideas by the students. We would like to maybe talk to principal and our university also. So through them, if any of these new inventions, many times we feel that they are not important, but when it is, it may have a great
Yes.
importance in the commercial value. So some of them maybe through Dr. Siddharaju we can channelize to you when principal madam also permits us. So through this we can have something in the record that we do have certain innovations which are IPR1.
Certainly.
Yes, sir. All the participants, some who are here, I kindly request you to come on to unmute. Sorry, come on the video mode so that we can take a group photo of everyone. All the participants,
Bangalore.
please come to the video mode so that you are visible and we can take your photograph so that all these people are here attending this webinar.
Dr. Pankaj Kumar, today's resource person, my dear colleagues and students, IQAC of University College Mangalore and Department of Microbiology of our college has organized a webinar on intellectual property rights and technology transfer in academics and startups. First of all, I thank Dr. Pankaj Kumar, MHRD Innovation Ambassador and IPR Facilitator for being with us today and share his knowledge regarding IPR and its implications on academics. Thank you, Pankaj.
Thank you, ma'am.
In this age of Make in India policy of our union government, which gives a lot of boost to startups and incubation centers in educational institutions, it is the right time that we, the faculty, the research scholars, have an in-depth insight into IPR, that is intellectual property right, how to get it. I mean, as academicians, who can or how we can get the IPR and patent rights. Most of the IPRs are related to science field, as we have just seen it, but I feel faculty and students from non-science background too can try their hands in it. Dr. Pankaj Kumar sir Once again, on behalf of the University College, I appreciate your interest and thank you for interacting with us. You have thrown a lot of insights into many things. You explained us as to why IPR patenting is required, what is the present scenario of IPR practices, how to go about for licensing agreement, and what is the need for IPR cell, whether there is need for IPR cell in university, and what are the due responsibilities of this cell. And you also briefed us about National IPR Policy 2016, National Innovation and Startup Policy of 2019. We have also explained the meaning and importance of patents or innovation, how to go about to get patent rights. And as Bharati Prakash, Dr. Bharati Prakash told you all just now, there are few professors in our institution like Dr. Siddharaju, who already has a patent right. Thank you once again, Pankaj. And continuing, Dr. Bharati Prakash, HOD of Department of Microbiology, arranging this webinar. Thank you, Bharati Prakash, for the well-organized webinar. Dr. Suresh, our IQAC coordinator, is one more organizer of this webinar. Thank you, Dr. Suresh, for your support. I proudly recognize the presence of all my faculty members, the students, and thank you for that. I end my presidential remarks here. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. In spite of your busy schedule, you were here throughout for this program. Thank you. Thank you, madam. I would like to request Dr. Siddharaju for the vote of thanks, formal vote of thanks.
Well, it's formally, principal has given vote of thanks and Bharati madam also given. Fine. So, it's my privilege to render vote of thanks on this occasion. Firstly, I would like to thank our beloved principal for supporting our all the activities, and also she always stay in the sessions, webinars throughout the sessions, and she support us throughout the webinars, and she always maintain a standard of webinars as such physical or offline seminars. Thank you, madam. Thank you for your support. And today's resource person, Dr. Pankaj Kumar, he is the right person. And when I saw the invitation, after seeing this qualifications and all, I was very excited to attend the seminar, kind of a webinar. So he has given a lot of information on patenting and IPR and technology transfer. So I understand it's not the 1 hour is not that much time to explain all the wide range of patenting, but he has given a lot of information with wide range of examples so that even students and faculty can understand. I thank you for your time and information, sir. Thank you very much. And our organizers, IQAC, our college IQAC coordinator, Dr. Suresh, and our microbiology HOD, Dr. Bharati Prakash. She is very active and she always think of useful activities. I thank you both for organizing such a wonderful talk, and it is very useful for all the faculty and students. Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And finally, I thank all the faculties, students, and all the members who participated in this seminar and got benefited. Thank you all. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Dr. Siddharaju, for your remarks on this. Since you have patent, you know the in and out of it. Thank you, one and all. Let's conclude the session. Good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.